Here, on the first Friday of every month, a theater group called Playback Theater creates a performance in collaboration with their audience. Individual audience members are invited to step forward and tell a story from their lives. Then the Playback Theater troupe plays it back to them. It's theater improvisation, but on a whole new level.
I heard a voice from across the table say something. And I looked across the table, and I saw this person. And it was the woman who was going to be my wife, Claudia. And in that moment, I saw her. I saw the same person that I know today.
David LeGraff brought Playback Theater to Portland several years ago.
It is a way for me to do improvisation, which I've taught for years and absolutely love, stepping into the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen next, but with a purpose to get at people's stories, to get at what really is going on inside people and in their lives.
These performances rely on the willingness of some audience members to share personal stories. The members of the theater company make a point of honoring the tellers in the audience.
We're accurate as far as when we listen to people tell their stories, we want to make sure all the details are right. But we're accurate too in the way that we want to honor the people's emotions, the true key to what they're trying to get across, and not bring in things that we might think are clever or things that we might think are funny or our own little philosophy or our own whatever's going on in our lives.
It was a privilege to respond to their story, and it was a privilege to play it back to them. And I just think it's an act of generosity. I feel like people are very generous to share their stories, and so it's rich. It's very satisfying.
In order to be true to the stories they're hearing, the actors need to fight the impulse to involve their own egos.
It's not play that's just built on laughter. It's not shtick. It's not showing off. It's play where people have to interact and trust and take risks, and it's good play.
That's what we do is, as actors, is really try hard to listen to the person's emotion and find that emotion in our own bodies. It's like your own body is going through it.
Trust and spontaneity are important elements in the creative process of these actors.
What we really strive to do is like life. Life is not planned. You don't decide how a day is going to go and how you're going to react to it. Things happen and you react, and that's what we go for.
When you play together with people, you build trust, and when you build trust, you can take risks.
Having to trust one another and sharing on a very personal level, the members of this company develop a special bond.
When we're out here, the most satisfying moments are when we do something together, when we all catch this kind of silent communication.
It's about trusting and letting go. When you play together with people, you build trust. And when you build trust, you can take risks.
The members of this theater company did not join the group in a traditional way. Their interest in playback goes beyond the art of acting.
They were performing one first Friday, and I came. I felt like cleaned out, or I felt loosened up. I felt like something had like really moved like inside my body, and it made me really interested in wanting to join the company.
Not all of our company have theater experience or come from the theater. Some do, some don't. They bring their talents. Some are therapists, some are teachers. Some do come from an acting or theater background. So all of those things create a scenario within which we pick members. So I'm tempted to say members pick the company.
Audience members get more than a unique theater experience from Playback Theater. They learn how sharing stories can build community.
It's us together around the communal fire, you might say. So there are more and more people coming regularly and ready, very ready to tell their stories. And more people listening to those stories and hearing their own stories in those stories.
I think people should come to Playback Theater because how often do you have a chance to relive moments from your past and be able to do that in a supportive, contained environment where you can really slow things down and have perspective on a moment of your life?
I love the way it builds community. I always feel like at the end of an experience, people are closer. They're smiling at each other. I think Portland is earning and developing a community as a result of this.
The people of Sierra Leone gathered around a fire to try to process what had happened to them during the horrible civil war that took place in Sierra Leone. And a man was standing there telling about how he had been told that he had to kill his father. And he refused to kill his father, and instead his friend had to kill his father. And he said, as a matter of fact, that man is here tonight. And they brought that man forward. And there was a forgiving of this horrendous act. And they embraced, they danced, the people sang. And I'm watching this and I'm going, that's playback. That's why we're doing what we're doing.
It's just a really good environment. It's a great environment. It's a good thing.